When it comes to money, most people play it safe. They wait until they feel ready, or they look successful, or they have the proof before showing up like the version of themselves who is already wealthy. But that's not how wealth works, especially in business. Wealth flows and money flows where confidence, visibility, and audacity go first. In today's episode, we are talking about audacious money moves, the bold, sometimes uncomfortable, always expansive actions that collapse time between where you are and where you want to be. These are the things that amplify your income, expand your influence, and magnetize wealth, not later, but now. So let's talk about how to move like the wealthiest version of you, how to get in the right rooms and bet on yourself in ways that changes everything. Let's go. Welcome to All In with Allie, the podcast for online business owners and entrepreneurs who are ready to create the life and business of their dreams. I am so happy you are here. I just have to tell you, I am on cloud 9 right now because we are smack dab in the middle of my Die Hard Client Attraction Challenge. I just wrapped up day 3 as I record this, and it's going so well. I am so thankful. Like the women in this room and their participation, everything, it's to die for. And it's funny. And the reason why I bring that up is because I'm in front and working with these women right now because I did one of the audacious money moves that I'm about to share with you in this episode. So today, what I decided to do, and by the way, the reason why we're talking about this is because this is this month's theme. This month's theme is visibility and audacity. So all month, if you go back and you listen, every episode for the month of October 2025 is through the lens of visibility and audacity. And this is our final episode of the month. And then you'll find out what next month's theme is. I'm not going to announce it in this episode. It will be fun and fresh for you in November. We had to wrap it with audacious money moves because as business owners, this is what we need to do. So there are so many things that I could have shared with you in this episode, but I thought that I would keep it concise and really juicy. I decided to share my top 3 as of right now. And what's cool is, I'm going to give you these 3 audacious money moves, and one of them is one that you can do immediately, and I hope you do. One of them, and I'm going to share with you, is one that I have always resisted. Like I would hear other people share about this and I'd be like, oh, whatever. And I just never wanted to do it, but now I get it. And then the third one is one that you may not expect. It's one that I don't think I've ever talked about before. And if I have, it's been very, very brief. And it's the reason why this round of Die Hard, the challenge that I'm doing right now, is going so well. So this is going to be a fantastic episode for you. So let's kick this off with the first audacious money move, the one that you can start doing immediately, and probably the one that will get you the best results over time. This is one that, you know what? This is probably the most important one. We're kicking this off with a bang. Because even if you did the other 2 audacious money moves that I'm going to give you here in just a minute, they wouldn't be as potent. They wouldn't work as well if you weren't doing this one I'm about to share with you first. And the first audacious money move is showing up as the wealthiest version of you now. What that means is the version of you who already has the sales, who already has the clientele, who already has the audience. Now, this has been a theme over the past month, right? Like And I've been talking about this because one of our goals this month is more visibility. And we've talked ad nauseum about why visibility is so important in our businesses and why this is something that we want to be aware of and we want to increase and we want to make sure our mindset is strong around it. And obviously, more eyeballs on you and your genius, the more people that want to buy from you, the bigger your business, the bigger your influence, etc. So it's very important. But why a lot of people keep themselves invisible is because they wait for the audience first. They feel cringy speaking as an authority now because they feel like their audience isn't big enough. They feel silly. They feel foolish. They're worried about what so-and-so is going to think about them. And all month long, I've been saying, look, if you want to grow to the level of influence that I know you do and that you should, because I know that you're brilliant, I know your ideas are incredible. You're meant to be wealthy. You're meant to be a woman of influence and who is the epitome of a woman in her power. But in order to get there, you have to show up as her first. That's what you have to do. Otherwise, why would we want to follow you? How does that work? Why would I want to follow you if you're showing up or refusing to show up right now because there's not enough people following you? What comes first? And money is the same thing, or not so much money, wealth. Wealth is a frequency. Rich is a frequency. So if you want to attract more money into your business, you need to be a match for money. And how you do that, the easiest way to do that is, again, show up as the wealthiest version of you now. How does she dress? How does she walk in rooms? How does she conduct herself? How does she charge for her offers? How does she uphold boundaries on social media and with her current clients? What are her beliefs around what's possible for her? So when you do this, and why this is such a potent tip, really a cheat code, honest to God, a cheat code. And you hear me talk about it all the time, and I'll never stop talking about it because it's that important. Like I said, this is the one not only can you start doing immediately, but will get you the best results. And this is the one that is a prereq to everything else. And when you start doing this, what will begin to happen when you start showing up as the version of you who already has the established brand, who already has the recognition and the reputation? That's like a wealthy woman in business. Those are why she's wealthy, is because she has those things. She's established. People trust her. People want to buy from her. She sells out. Her containers are full. But how she got there is because she commanded attention now. She commanded respect now. She upheld her boundaries now. She's not walking around rooted and dripping in scarcity. She's not making moves in misalignment with her business because she's just trying to make a buck. When people start sniffing out desperation, it's a repellent. It's a repellent. The worst thing you can do is give off the air of desperation and scarcity as a business owner. You can be grateful. You can be excited for sure. That is very different than desperate and holding a lack of belief. Desperation is simply a lack of belief that more is coming. It's fear, which is the lowest level frequency that you can be. So what's so great about this audacious money move is it's easy to do, relatively easy to do. It might take practice though. So how you can do this for yourself is go look around. How are other people showing up? People with the audiences, people with the businesses. How do they show up in their stories? How do they conduct their trainings? How do, whatever it is as it relates to what it is that you do. There's an air, there's a vibe to them. You can emulate that. And at first, when you start doing this, it's going to feel a little awkward because it's a little new to you. and you might feel foolish. Who am I to act like the wealthiest version of myself when I don't feel wealthy? Well, you're smart. That's why. You're smart. But with practice over time, this will become more second nature. With practice, you'll continue sitting up straighter. You'll continue dressing in the morning and treating yourself and your day as if the success is already there. I remember when I first started in business and I was starting to understand these things, and I noticed that there were gaps, and it was simply filling in the gaps. When I was broke and nobody wanted to work with me, I would get up in the morning and be like, why even get ready? Who cares? Why post those stories? Nobody's going to see them. Why sell and shoot my shot? Nobody's going to take action on them. Why make that post? Nobody's going to like it. Why invest in the thing that I want to invest in? It's just going to be a waste of money and a regret. And when I understood that behavior is the exact behavior that was keeping me stuck in that reality, it shifted everything for me. If people only understood that low frequency, low vibe behavior, which is simply just a match for not the results, right? Why do this thing if I don't have the results? So when you keep doing that, you're reinforcing exactly what it is that you don't want. So when I shifted it and I said, I'm going to start getting ready in the morning. I'm going to post that story anyway. I'm going to make that post anyway. I'm going to shoot my shot anyway. I'm going to invest in that thing that I know that I need to bridge the gap in where I am versus where I want to be anyway. Because that's what the wealthy version of me would do. That's what the successful version of me would do. And no, I couldn't do everything that I wanted to do at the time at the level, right? I couldn't go buy the Porsche at the time. I couldn't go invest in all the clothes, or, there were certain things that I just couldn't do it yet. But there were so many things that I could do now that I wasn't. So when I bridged that gap, I shifted my frequency, which got me a different result. And then it gets a lot easier, because then you don't feel so foolish. Results are flowing. People are responding. People are buying. The bank account balance is increasing. Your reputation is getting better. So then it becomes a lot easier, and then it becomes second nature, and then you get it and it's stuck and you're out of that slump. But those slumps, we all fall into those seasons. So that's what I would have you reflecting. Your actions today, are they indicative of the results that you believe could come to you today or tomorrow? Or are they indicative of limiting beliefs and a reality that you say you want to get yourself out of, but instead you're perpetuating with the same actions again and again and again? So that's the first one. The first best money move, audacious money move that you could ever make, that you can make immediately, that you should make immediately, and keep making from now until the end of time, is showing up as the wealthiest, most successful version of you now. Now, the second tip that I have for you, the second audacious money move, this is the one that I always resisted. Okay. This is the one you hear people say this all the time. And I always just took it as like, it just felt like such a cheesy, basic, like, of course, everybody's going to say that. It was, it was kind of like cliche for a while. And so you're going to hear it, and I'm going to explain to you why I get it now. And it's taken me a decade to really, really understand this, which is hilarious. So be smarter than me is what I'm trying to say, which is why I'm sharing this with you. The audacious money move that I always resisted is getting in the right room, collaborating, building relationships. Now, I've always been one to get in the right room. That one I get. I've always been the one. I've always invested in spaces that felt out of reach, that I felt like an idiot, that I don't know, like, and nobody thought I should, but I did anyway. I've told these stories a million times. That one I've always done. I've always put my money where my mouth is, where my belief is, well before the results came, which made the results come faster. but I have a new understanding of it now. And that's the collaborative aspect. That's the relationship aspect. And the reason why I resisted these is because just if you know me as a person, I'm a bit more of an introverted type person. I'm a bit more, I like to move fast. I like to move my way. I'm not like, I'm not somebody who has a ton of new friends. I have like my old friends. It takes 10 years to get close to me. And I'm not saying that to sound cool or mysterious. That's just like the way my weird mind works. That's just how I am. So, especially in business, I've never been the girl to like try and bring a bunch of groups together, unless it's like a container of mine, but like in a collaborative way. I've never been the person to go introduce myself to somebody else because there might be a way that we can support each other. I've never been the person to slide into somebody's DMs and say, hey, I love what you're doing. If there's any way I can support you, let me know, and vice versa. I've never been that girl. But now I get it. And the reason why is actually because of something that I'm putting together right now that it is really demonstrating this for me. Because when you have this more collaborative energy about yourself and you're open to it, you just never know who you're going to meet. You never know why God is putting you in the room or giving you the opportunity to collaborate and walk beside somebody for a season. It may not make sense then. It may seem like one thing in this season, and then you get a whole other surprise in another season. And I'm really starting to understand that. And, there's this saying, like, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go with others, collaborate, link arms with people. And that's what I'm seeing. So the thing that like really, really nailed this and sent this home for me is, and I've talked about this a little bit, but I'm excited to talk about it more because I am hosting this charity event at the end of the year, and we're not ready to promote it yet. You'll hear about it. It's going to be absolutely incredible. But I got this idea because this is a charity that's close to mine and my husband's heart. It's his best friend that started the charity. They give 100% of proceeds to these children. I'm not going to give all the details right here. I'm just high level going to give you the vibe, and you'll learn more about it later. But I've always wanted, the more that I've learned, and I've gone to these charity events where I've learned about what it is that they do and where they put their money and, how they serve these children in this country. The more I'm like, oh my God, how it just immediately felt a call in my heart. Like you got to do something. But I knew it was more than like literally writing a check. We do that, right? Chris and I give to this, but it's like, I got to do more. And I had this aha moment where I was like, I could do something insane for this charity because I know what I know, but then I also know some of the most talented, respectable, magnetic women in the online space. If you've been waiting for a sign to go all in on your business, this is it. And I have a juicy coupon code for all in listeners only, so make sure you don't miss it. The newly rebranded and upgraded All In experience isn't just another coaching program. It is the last coaching container you will ever need to grow your business your way to the level you want. Here is what's inside. You will get 4 live coaching calls every single month where you get unlimited time to ask your questions and get coached on exactly what you need. You get 4 private one-on-one calls that you can use anytime throughout the year for deep, personalized, custom support. You get instant access to every single program I've ever created, new and old, so that you have a full library of trainings at your fingertips the second you join. And you also will receive monthly subconscious reprogramming to rewire your beliefs and keep you aligned with wealth, success, and visibility that you are calling in. This is not a band-aid. This is not a quick fix. This is the container that gives you everything you need to create undeniable traction, build consistent momentum, and scale your business your way. So if you are ready to stop searching for the next thing and finally go all in, this is your moment. Click the link in the show notes to learn more about the All-In experience. And for a limited time, you can use code ALLIN with Allie to join and save a whopping 25% off for a full year. I can't wait to see you on the inside and on the next call with us. If you have any questions, you can DM me on Instagram. These are my colleagues. These are my clients. I'm clients of theirs. Like, some of the best women I believe on the planet are my friends in this space that I've met along the years from running my own business. And I had this idea, what if I put on a virtual event with some of these women? Long story short, it's happening. I have my list of women who are going to be joining me. And collectively, as a combined audience, we have over 1 million people that this event is going to be exposed to. Over 1 million people. So if it was just me, I would be limited to my sphere. But when linking arms and multiplying spheres, it gets exponentially larger. Duh. But what really hit me is, I sent out the invites to collaborate on this. It was me who reached out to these ladies. And while these ladies are going to be donating their expertise, they're going to be helping me promote, but also this is an incredible platform for them. They're going to be cross-marketing audiences of all of ours, right? Like, we're all going to be exposed to all of our respective audiences. This is an incredible opportunity for all of us. That's not the point. But I realized, wow, like it's so silly that was the thing that really drove it home. But like, I'm creating this opportunity in this platform that is going to have this insane ripple effect for the world. Like, this is going to affect the world. I believe that. And it's just, it softened my idea. And it's like, what could this look like in other ways? Where have I been limiting my potential by trying to go fast alone? I have gifts. You have gifts. She has gifts. And where I've always thought this was such like a cheese dick kind of subject is like, there's no competition. Just, I don't know, like, and it's like, duh, I know that. But really, when you think about it, there's not. Because there are going to be some people who prefer to work with me, some people that prefer to work with her, some people that prefer to work with her. And in her audience, some people that prefer to work with me. And so like, there's plenty of room. So not only does this increase, and the reason why this is an audacious money move is because this collapses time for you. Instead of facilitating and creating the visibility on your own, you're multiplying by collaborating and by getting in certain rooms. So not only is there something for you, but there's something for everybody, because now the potential and the magic that's being created is multiplied because you're working with multiple people. Duh, hello, it's so simple. I'm very stubborn. This is why this is just hitting me. So how you can do this, getting in the right rooms. I mean, obviously there's our online businesses where we can reach out. You can introduce people. You can, if there's somebody that that offers a skill set and you have an opposing skill set or a complementary skill set, how can you guys work together? You guys could do a podcast together. Like, I partnered with Bree Groves a couple of years ago, and we put together a beautiful course, passive social sales. And because I brought a level of the conversation to the table, she brought another level of the conversation, and we multiplied our efficacy because of that. And it was beautiful. And I still had people in my world from her audience, and she still has people in her world from my audience. So that's one, that collaborative effort that you can do very easily. But then also, building relationships with certain people. How can I support you? Here's how can I give back to you? And just knowing that it will come back to you. And that's not even the point. But then also, you can think of this from such a strategic point of view, too, which is investing in the right room. One of the greatest benefits of investing in like a high level mastermind or some sort of room is by getting at the table that those other people are at. Like in life, outside of business, you don't want to buy friendships, right? That sounds weird and gross. We don't want to buy friendships. But in business, sometimes that's the smartest thing that you can do is investing in a room, knowing that you are going to be rubbing shoulders and having the potential to build relationships with the women in that room. Many people don't take that into consideration. Two of the ladies, maybe even three of the ladies from the mastermind that I was in a couple of years ago is going to be doing this charity event that I met through this mastermind. The amount of podcast opportunities I've had from ladies in masterminds that I was in. When they say that when you invest in something in your business, believe it will come back to you tenfold, that those are often the ways it will come back. Yes, it will come back through your business because your expertise and the things that you're learning, but then also in the relationships that you're making in the room. This is something that I have grossly underestimated and grossly under nurtured for myself, which is why I'm sharing it with you. Don't be like me. Don't be like me. Okay. So that's the second audacious money move that will serve you very well. And the third one, the one that you may not expect me to share, that I have very rarely, if ever, discussed, because I've done this one a few times in my career, but it never quite worked until recently. And the third and final audacious money move that I'm going to be sharing with you is running ads in your business. Now, here's what I want to say about this. There is a time and a place to run ads. I want you to think of ads as gasoline to what you're already doing. So we want some sort of fire happening. More than anything, we want it to be something that we'd be happy to accelerate. So if you don't have offers that you're proud of, if you don't love the way your brand is looking right now, if you know there are things that can be tightened up in your brand, now is not the time probably to run ads, because you're just going to be amplifying some things that you don't, and bringing visibility to things that you don't necessarily want to bring visibility to, which will in some ways be a waste of your money and investment. So ads are an accelerant. It's the gasoline to the fire. We want a decent fire, one that you're like, let's blow this bitch up. That's what we're looking for. So in the past, when I've ran ads, I've been in that place, but the reason why they didn't really work for me, well, actually, a couple things. I've ran ads two other times, like really went for it with ads two other times in my career years ago. The first time, I was not ready. The first time it was like, okay, this isn't working. Let me run ads. It was kind of like a Hail Mary. It was premature. And I ended up accelerating, or trying, I guess, to accelerate something that like, there wasn't even a fire to begin with. So it was like throwing gasoline on damp wood. Doesn't work. So that was the first time. Okay. Second time, I had something to work with, but I wasn't working with the correct ad person. And there was nothing wrong with this person, but it wasn't the best fit. And this person really didn't understand me and my business. And if I'm taking full responsibility here, I do think, again, it was a little too premature. I had a bit more fire than I did the first time, But I was also in an interesting season of life, and it just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right person. So it didn't work as well. Now, this time, I have known it's been time to run ads. And I'm proud of myself because I've been very diligent and patient when finding my right ads person. As a matter of fact, I have my team, my assistant, and this was one of her tasks because I really didn't know that many people that were I'm trying to work with like the best of the best with ads. I'm not trying to waste my time here. If I'm going to be investing money in ads and somebody to run my ads, you need to be damn good. So actually, one of her tasks that she spent a ton of time on was going out and searching for this elusive ads person. And she brought me a list of, 8 to 10 people. We whittled it down to 3. And I went and I looked at all of them and I was like, I don't know. And then sure enough, and the universe has your back because I had kind of talked here and there, and I had talked to my membership, especially. We talk about these things all the time in the all-in experience. And I talked about how I was looking for an ads person, and I was excited to tell them, who I found and be able to share that information. One of my all-in clients slid into my DMs and she said, I think you would really, really like my ads person. Check her out. And I looked at her account, and it was an immediate yes, like immediate full body. That's her. And I've been working with her for the past few months now. And she helped me run ads. This was the first time I ran ads to a challenge. So, we're in the middle of the Die Hard Client Attraction Challenge, and we ran ads and we went really big with it. We had a big goal. We did not hit the goal, but we got very close, and I'm very happy with how we landed. And I trust that's where we were meant to land. Because it's a lot of people. We got like over 300 people in this challenge this round. To give some perspective, when I launched this the first time with my audience with organic traffic, no ads, we got a little over 100 people. So running it again, just a few months apart, I knew I needed ads because a big bulk of my warm audience had already done it. Okay. And what's so incredible is these are hot leads. I mean, these are, dream businesses. Like the exact women that I am here to serve are the people who are now in my world. And not only did they sign up for the challenge, they're following me on Instagram. So, will they convert to something? I think so at some point for sure. But all of that to say that's quite an audacious money move when the time is right, that I would highly recommend. If you have the right circumstances and you find the right ads person, run ads, put yourself out there, pay to play. The algorithm is always going to algorithm, right? Like we don't know how we're going to favor to the algorithm gods this week or today or tomorrow. So to leave the fate of our launches and our business in the hands of the algorithm, we do it a lot. It's what I've always done. But remembering that there is another option, you can play to pay. Oh my God. You can pay to play and skip the line a little bit and get in front of more of the right people. Fantastic. So that's been working really well. Now, I'm not sharing my ads person yet because I want to reach out to her and see if she's even taking on new clients. I'm happy. Y'all know I'll share everybody with you. But I'm wondering if maybe she might have like a course or something. So before I share her, I want to get the details before I just like open up the floodgates and everybody hits her up. She's amazing, and I'm excited. Maybe no doubt I'll have her come on the podcast and we'll talk more about this. If you're interested in that, slide into my DMs and let me know. But anyway, yeah, it's a fantastic, audacious money move, because at the end of the day too, not only are you getting in front of the right people now, but it's a bet on you right? It's a bet on you and your brand and your offers. This is you putting your money where your mouth is. If you're willing to invest in the coach, if you're willing to invest in whatever the opportunity is, whether it's a coach, whether it's ads, whether it's whatever, that just speaks to the level of belief of your brand and what it is that you're doing. That's half the battle. If you are willing to drink your Kool-Aid, I'm willing to drink your Kool-Aid. But if you're not willing to drink it, why would I touch it? I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole. What's wrong with your Kool-Aid? You know? So half of the work is believing in your shit. That's a bonus audacious money move. Believe in yourself and what it is that you're doing. And if you don't, let's figure that out. Okay. That's a big one. So those are your 3 top audacious money moves that are going to increase your level of wealth, but also they're audacious, and all of those things will also increase the level of visibility in your brand as well, which will again have an effect, no doubt, on your bank account in the process. So to sum this up, your next level of wealth is not waiting for more strategy. Most of you know this strategy. Most of you, okay? It's not looking for like, what do I do next? It's waiting for a bolder version of you. Many of you are already making the right move, but you're playing small. Your energy is small. You're not making the other moves that you know you want to make out of fear that you're not ready or out of fear that it won't work. Thus, you keep yourself small and again, perpetuating the same results. So your next level of wealth, it's waiting for that version of you, the one who shows up like she's already it. The one who's not afraid to be seen, to connect, to invest, to go first. Because at the end of the day, wealth does not follow comfort. It follows audacity. It follows belief. It is attracted by like frequencies. If this episode lit something up in you, if this was helpful, please let me know. Share it in your stories. Leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you listen. Tag me. Let me know if you enjoyed this. I love seeing your ahas and also seeing the type of content that you enjoy. Let's normalize more women being seen and being paid and being powerful, because that's how we change everything. And we still have some work to do here. Okay, I love you. I will see you here next week where we will be announcing next month's theme. Get excited. Bye.